Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss my conclusions that I've drawn from studying American history. I'm not a scholar. I'm not, a famous author or anything like that. I'm just a regular person who likes history, and I'm just going to do. I'm doing a review of American history, and you won't agree with my conclusions, maybe none of my conclusions, but you should know about the events, people, concepts, and places I discuss. And we're talking about the American Revolution right now. So you and I. So let's begin again. Meanwhile, in the South, there had been an uprising in Virginia in December 1775 that had forced Lord Dunmore to take refuge on a British warship. On February 27th, 1776, the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge resulted in 1,000 North Carolina patriots defeating a similar force of Tories or those loyal to the British government. And then on June 4th, 1776, the British under General Clinton began their attempt to take Charleston, South Carolina. The Battle of Sullivan Island on June 28th, where the accurate American artillery under Colonel William Moultrie did great damage to Admiral Peter Parker's ships, resulted in no further action against Charleston for 2 years. On March 23rd, 1776, Congress authorized privateering, a privateer being a type of pirate with legal approval from a government to conduct raids on an enemy. The new Navy was being built but blockaded by the Royal Navy, which commanded the eastern seaboard. Pirates had always been a part of American history, and Hugh Rankin tells some of the most interesting pirates in his book, The Pirates of North Carolina. And although tales of Blackbeard and Stede Bonnet, um, who recently was made famous to people in the TV series Outlander, are fascinating, we'll never leave their activities up to you as a matter of independent study. The age of the famous pirates was over by the time of the Revolutionary War, although an interesting read is Aaron Smith's 19th century journal of his kidnapping by Cuban pirates called The Atrocities of the Pirates. In 1777, intending to seize the Hudson River Valley and split the colonies, Burgoyne was brought down from Canada by way of Lake Champlain. Howe was to move north from New York. Colonel Barry St. Ledger was to join forces with Iroquois and Tories under Sir John Johnston, were to sweep down the Mohawk Valley to unite with others in Albany. Only the incompetence of Lord George Germain, Secretary of State in Lord North's cabinet, kept this from being successful. There was no coordination, and the operation was a disaster for England. On April the 25th, 1777, a British force under General William Tryon, excuse me, governor of New York, destroyed an American supply depot at Danbury, but was severely harassed by militia under General Benedict Arnold. Then Burgoyne captured Fort Ticonderoga on July 5th and chased the retreating Americans into Vermont over a Lake Champlain bridge. At the Battle of Hubbardton on July 7th, the American rear guard was captured, but a delaying action by Seth Warner saved the bulk of General St. Clair's army, which fled to Rutland, Vermont. General Burgoyne pursued over roads that the Patriots had destroyed, slowing his pace down considerably. Learning that General Howe was not going to be of much help, having decided to pursue Washington, Burgoyne headed for Albany, hoping to meet St. Ledger there. From July 25th to August 25th, 1777, St. Ledger besieged Fort Stanwix, also known as Fort Schuyler, on the current site of Rome, New York. A group of militia sent to reinforce the fort under the command of Nicholas Herkimer was ambushed at the Battle of Oriskany, but even though Herkimer was killed, the Americans beat the attack. Burgoyne suffered a defeat by the colonials under the leadership of Colonel John Stark at the Battle of Bennington on August 16, 1777, while Benedict Arnold relieved Fort Stanwix the next week. This back and forth inconclusive combat continued through 1777 until Burgoyne was defeated at the Battle of Bemis Heights in New York, and on October 17th he surrendered his army, which was supposed to be paroled and shipped home to England after marching to Boston, but the Congress would not permit the agreement of the Convention of Saratoga to be implemented. Bemis Heights, also called the Second Battle of Saratoga, was the turning point in the war, in spite of the fact that at the same time all this was happening, General Washington was being beaten badly by General Howe in New Jersey at the Battle of Brandywine on September 11th. Howe occupying Philadelphia on the 26th and the Battle of Germantown on October 4th. We'll stop there. We'll talk about the winter at Valley Forge next. And I thank you for watching. Hope to talk to you again soon.